All right, so my painting here, or my drawing, it's not a painting yet. Um, so the as I said to a lot of you during the Zoom meeting, I spent a lot of time setting this thing up. You know, moving my head in different positions, playing with the possibility of having different backgrounds in there. Um, I could have gone for a bit of background, but partly just for the sake of time, I omitted it. Um, but I really did spend a number of hours thinking about this before I started this drawing, which seems, pretty straightforward when you're just looking at it. But I'm going to talk to you about some of the decisions that I have made in this drawing. Um, First off, the angle of the head. There is a slight downwards angle to this. There's a slight, there is a turning away from the viewer as well, which is also shown in the shoulder. There is strong light hitting the face from the right side. There's a much weaker light on the left side, and most of my features are actually in shadow. There's light hitting the nose, but there is this sense that the head is either turning towards the viewer or turning away from the viewer. It is in motion. The mouth is also open. That is not, that's not an accident. All of these things are done to suggest a type of motion and a type of movement. The shoulder has been raised from where it would naturally sit if I was relaxed. It is moved up because I wanted to have a guarded position in my pose. The collar has been moved up a little bit more than it naturally would have been, partly because of the shoulder, but also because I wanted it to start to guard the face a little bit, to enhance that guarded type of look. These are, these are basically, emotions that I am feeling right now in this situation that we are in this quarantine, in this incredible uncertainty of life and the economy, the world economy that we're dealing with right now. Everything is a complete shit show right now. And what I am working on here is kind of processing some of those emotions in this painting and making this painting a representation of this time and of the things that I am feeling. And even in something like this, where there is no environment to really work off of to give me, to give the viewer more clues about what I am thinking, I'm really letting all of that still happen in the head. These are all very purposeful decisions. The tilt of the head. My head is, my chin is raised as if I am looking down. It's sort of in an act of defiance and strength, a kind of resolve in this situation. A gaze that is looking directly at the viewer, which, is, I suppose, typical of self-portraits, but you can, without a whole lot of issue, actually change the direction of the gaze, if you so desire, in a self-portrait. So there's really a lot going on. There's a lot going into the content of this piece, and I haven't even started talking about value now. I have this very strong light coming over here, and what I anticipate doing for this painting is having a bit more light on the left or on the right side of the painting. Let me get a pointer here. The right side here, and then this moves into, these wonderful, beautiful illuminated light shapes in here, light shape in the nose, but there's, this colder light that is hitting this side of the head and this side of the nose, and then this will move into shadow, into blackness, or some kind of like textured blackness over in this space. And there's a reason that I have put the head off center, because this is going to be a much more heavily weighted part of the head than this, because this is where all of the illumination and this is where all the color is going to be. But that was actually a purposeful decision in order to give this strange psychological imbalance of the compositional space, because there is a lot of space on this left-hand side, which is going to be representative of more of this void, this uncertainty that we're dealing with in the future. And this over here is going to have, a little bit more of that lightness, a little bit more of the wonderful illumination that is happening on this side of the head as it trails, towards the right side of the canvas. But as it moves towards the left, that light will trail off and become darker. So there's going to be, a lot of psychological things at play in the value structure as well, and how that relates to the overall composition, the placement of my head on this canvas. So hopefully that gives you guys some stuff to think about. I mean, this may not be the way that you naturally make pictures here, but you would be doing yourself a disservice if you are not attempting to communicate anything in the work that you're about to execute. Because successful paintings have purpose. They have a reason for their existence, and you guys should really start thinking about that. So I hope this helps.